Hello all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions of playing the Crew 2 beta. Now, I didn't stream or anything yesterday. I had a really busy day yesterday, so legit, when I got home, all I did was sit down and just get on the Crew 2 beta, and let me tell you, I was pretty blown away. It was really fun. I really enjoyed the beta. Now, again, these are my first impressions, so you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. I might not be singing the same praises a month or two after the game comes out. Now, then again, some of the issues I do have are very, they're not really big, if you know what I mean. I mean, some of it has to do with some optimization problems. Now, however, for me personally, the game runs great. I mean, with the Crew 1, I have to run the Crew 1 at medium settings with anti-aliasing off, and that's not how it should be, because my computer can blow that game away in terms of specs. So I should be able to run that game ultra everything. This game, however, I'm able to run pretty much nearly everything at max, max spec and everything, and it runs, aside from a little micro lag in the cities, I get solid 60, you know, and that is a welcome thing. That is welcome. So the game runs great on my computer. However, there are some people who the game just doesn't run as good for them. I mean, example, yesterday when I was playing with a bunch of my friends, Charlie, his kept crashing to desktop. I think Jay's kept crashing to the desktop to the point where they both had to restart their computers every time it crashed. So it's causing issues for people like that, and also some people who have a bit older CPUs. There's some people who have this one CPU, I forgot what it's called. It's a really powerful CPU even to this day, but it's really old. The game won't work for them because the video editor, the live video editor, requires a certain CPU. So people like that are just getting fucked over, so they can't play the game. So stuff like that needs to be ironed out. But other than that, in terms of actual optimization and everything, the game runs pretty good. Now at the beginning of the beta, it did kind of it was really fucky because a lot of people were trying to play, but by the time I got on, everything was pretty ironed out, at least for me. You know, these are all after my things, but let's get on to the actual game itself. When it comes to racing and the driving physics, I like them a lot. I mean, they're probably the closest thing to black box physics since a black box game. All right. And they feel realistic in the sense that they feel like you're actually driving on the road. You feel like you're actually kind of there. Unlike the Crew 1, where you didn't really feel like you were there a lot of the time. You felt like you were just floating around. Like when you're driving 200 miles an hour up Manhattan, on a Manhattan street in the Crew 1, you feel like you're just kind of floating. You don't really feel like you're actually driving. This, however, when you're going 200 miles an hour up a Manhattan street, you feel like you're actually driving. You feel like you're actually you actually have to control your car. And trust me, when you turn off all assists, you will actually spin out. I mean, it happened to me a couple times, and it happened to my other friends as well. So, there is a challenge when you turn off all assists. There's no more sport mode and hardcore mode. It's all manual. You all have to you can fine tune everything per car and for per set of cars, which is really cool. Now, speaking of street racing, however, I don't really like the atmosphere when it comes to street racing. I don't really like how they've done it so far. Hopefully, then again, they only have 3 street races, so I could be completely wrong for the rest of the street races in the game. But I'm basing this off of what I've played in the beta. And right now, the street races, they don't... I mean, they're cool. I'm glad that there's more focus on street racing, because there was a just overall lack of racing in the original Crew 1, racing missions. But the street racing, I don't really like how they painted it as legal, if you know what I mean. The whole spiel is oh, I don't like street racing, and some dude in a wheelchair is oh, I don't like street racing. Here, I want to make everyone do it legal. But yet, at the same time, aside from the fact that they say it's legal, it does not feel legal, if you know what I mean. I mean... you're still smashing into shit. You're still, if you could, running over pedestrians and everything. It's still very much gonna it's still gonna make the city council angry that you're doing that, if you know what I mean. All the destruction and everything. I mean, it would have fit the game better if the underground the street racing family was illegal, if you know what I mean. But then as you work throughout the game, you become become more legit. But the street racing family, you kind of keep underground with cops and everything. Again, I won't shut the fuck up about cops, trust me. But that's how the street racing, in my opinion, should have been. Also with traffic, because there's no traffic in the races, and that really I want in one way, it allows you to make set lines and everything to keep improving time on like races and stuff. But another, it kind of degrades the fact that you're actually street racing. It doesn't really feel at points like you're street racing. Like if you don't want traffic, go to a track, if you know what I mean. Now there are difficulty selections. There's easy and hard. There should be a way, in my opinion, to enable traffic, if you know what I mean. Like have easy, have hard, have easy with traffic, have hard with traffic. Like have a way to have traffic, if you know what I mean. Like have a way to have cops. Like they need to add in cops, by the way. That's another main downside. There's no cops. And this is a downside, but it can be rectified because, again, it might be there. We're getting information on this next week. There's no PvP. There was PvP in the original Crew 1 betas, but there's no PvP here. So if they add PvP down the line, good. But that right now that's a negative, that there's no PvP. Now, speaking of atmosphere, the atmosphere doesn't really work for the street racing in my opinion. However, it does work for the planes and boats. Again, what they should have done is have the street racing illegal, and then you work your way up to becoming legal pro racing and all that. And with the planes and boats and everything, the legal atmosphere works. Like the festival atmosphere feels great when it comes to this. And speaking of planes feel awesome to fly. Probably even more so when I get my HOTAS system set up, like my flight stick and like throttle and everything. It's so awesome to be flying around in a plane with your friends on the ground racing in cars. That type of fun is something you just won't get in any racing game. The plane physics feel great. It's easy to pick up, but hard to master. That's what I'm sensing, because I'm still kind of shit at it. But it's easy to pick up and know what you're doing, if you know what I mean. Now, speaking of fun, you can just have a shit ton of fun in this game with your friends. Not just doing missions, but also just by dicking around, having fun, flying in planes, racing around, flying planes into your friends. It's funny as fuck. It's also funny as fuck just seeing cars fall from the sky, because you can transform to your favorite car, to your favorite boat, and just having people fall, have boats falling from the sky and everything. It's so fucking stupid. It's so funny as hell. And yeah, one cool memory we have is two of my friends I was playing with, Straight Up Hippo and Charlie. We discovered a river that leads out of Las Vegas, and Charlie and Cam were racing down it in boats, and then I was following in a plane, and I was at very low altitude, turning my smoke on, as they're in the boats. And to be fair, that was probably some of our best moments ever playing a racing game, was right there. You gotta understand, what we're doing in the beta now, we're gonna cherish forever. We're gonna remember this years down the road. And like we do with the original Crew beta. And the thing is, the Crew 2 so far is setting a great example of how to build off an existing game. Because the Crew 1 was great, but it was lacking in very, big areas. The Crew 2 is taking that and building off of it. And, however, they are missing a lot of key things like police and PvP so far. But other than that, they're pretty much building off that and expanding on nearly everything. Which is something that Need for Speed and Ghost Games need to take focus on. They need to be playing the beta and taking notes. That's really what they should be doing. But that's my first impressions of the Crew 2 beta. What do you guys think? I'm pretty hyped. What are you guys hyped about? You guys enjoying it? You're not enjoying it? Be sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. But that is going to be all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.